Welcome to Poetry in Motion, part of the English department's virtual open house in spring of 2021. This spring, we've all spent a great deal of time in our own houses. We've been Zooming to class, Zooming to meetings. We have family visits by Zoom, all from our own homes. This has led to lots of sharing of pets. We have pets in motion too, from the cat that comes to class with us, to the dog that wants us to come outside and do something, do anything else other than be in front of the computer, to that lawyer in Texas who somehow turned himself into a cat with a filter in the middle of a deposition with a judge. Or there was National Puppy Day, all of that wiggling, hairy cuteness. I don't have a pet, but I do have a dog poem that I want to share with you today. It's a villanelle, which is a complex poetic form. Villanelles have 19 lines, and there are 2 refrain lines that reappear at a set pattern all the way through. The first line has to reappear in a given pattern. The third line then also reappears all the way throughout the poem. There are only 2 rhyme sounds in a villanelle. The refrain lines rhyme with one another, and every other single line in the entire poem has to rhyme with each other. Most villanelles are written in iambic pentameter, so they have exactly 10 syllables per line. All of this creates a little bit of a box that the poet has to work with. Villanelles can be serious. They can deal with grief or loss. They can be humorous, as I think this one is. They can deal with frustration. You can have a villanelle in which you are endlessly circling in the parking lot, waiting for a place to open up, waiting. Here you come around again, and still there's no place for you. Villanelles are great, therefore, for working through obsessions, frustrations. This one, though, is a love poem. It's a love poem to a dog. This dog's name was Vanna. Before I read the poem aloud, there are a couple of details you probably need to know. Bruno Magli is a very expensive fashion designer, so a Bruno Magli shoe could cost hundreds or thousands of dollars. 2 of the characters in history who actually owned dogs are Adolf Hitler, who had a dog named Blondie, and Richard Nixon, who had a dog named Checkers. So here's the poem. It's called Why They Love Us, and it's by the poet R.W. Gwynn. Why They Love Us. Dogs love us uncomplainingly because they see us in a way we never do. They don't have sense enough to see our flaws the way we fear our lovers' fangs and claws. Blondie loved Hitler. Checkers, Nixon too. They love us uncomplainingly because when swatted with the news for muddy paws or chewing on that Bruno Magli shoe, they don't have sense enough to see our flaws. We live by common sense and logic's laws. With dogs, forget it. Even if they knew they love us uncomplainingly because they're idiots, they still won't drop their jaws and say, "Duh, you were mean to me. We're through." They don't have sense enough to see our flaws. Thank God for that. A big round of applause for what can sniff your ass and still love you. Dogs love us uncomplainingly because they don't have sense enough to see our flaws.